Hi, I wanted to do my favorites, and since I didn't upload my February favorites because I had to edit it down to 10 minutes and I wasn't happy with what was left of it, really. I thought I would do kind of a combined February and March favorites, so this is it. I have a few brushes that were definitely my favorite, one being the Inglot one, or for that matter, any kind of a good quality dual fiber brush for applying foundation. I have a full extensive review on this particular brush if you'd like to see that, and I have a tutorial in which I show how I use this with foundation for a reference. So I'm just going to say that I still love this brush, and I particularly like the Inglot one because I also have the MAC original version of this brush, and I actually prefer this one, which is much cheaper, to the MAC one because it's a little bit stiffer and it holds its shape so much better when you're kind of applying foundation with it. So love this brush, still love it. I used it all throughout February and I was really pleased with it. I actually did a rave video for it because I liked it so much. And then in the beginning of March I opened my mailbox and there's a yellow package for me. So yellow signifies that it's from the UK or United States, since we don't typically have yellow envelopes in Poland for posting things. So I look at the address and it's Sigma. So I got my Sigma brush. I was over the moon when I got it, and I actually felt this strange feeling like I had actually cheated on my Sigma brush by buying the Inglot one, because I kind of assumed it went missing or was lost, which is just a euphemism for saying that it was stolen, really, at least in my kind of paranoid mind. And I opened it and I fell in love. I totally fell in love. So in concept, this is very similar to this brush, but this one is completely synthetic. It's not dual fiber, just that these bristles have been bleached, so they look lighter than these ones, and it is really insanely soft. Now, prior to ordering this on sigmamakeup.com, I watched many reviews and lots of people were saying that it's as soft as velvet, and I was kind of annoyed by that. I thought, yeah, right. Why do you keep saying it's as soft as velvet? And I had this theory that Sigma, when they sent out samples of these brushes to makeup gurus here on YouTube, they kind of left a message to them. Could you please say that it's as soft as velvet? If you wouldn't mind, we'd really appreciate if you said that, because so many people are actually referring to it as soft as velvet. And now that I actually have the brush, I do have to agree. I think this is the first kind of association that you get when you touch the brush. It really is as soft as velvet. This is the most dense brush that I've ever seen. This is a dense brush, the mineral powder brush that I raved about in my January favorites. This is by Sephora. It's very similar, just that this one is flat. And this is soft, but this is just so much softer and so much denser. I use it for foundation the same way I use my Inglot brush, dual fiber brush. But this gives me a bit more coverage, so I am totally and absolutely in love with this brush. This and this, they give the same effect on the skin, which is pretty much like airbrushed skin, so it's kind of like they're both airbrush on a stick. But if you're looking for more coverage, like I am, because I have a lot of diffused redness, using this in the same way that you would use this one gives you better coverage, simply. So instead of kind of a light coverage, you get a bit more of a medium coverage. So I love this brush, I really, really do. The only problem that I have with it, and it's not really kind of a big problem really, but this takes forever to dry. It literally takes about 24 hours to dry completely, because it is so dense and it's completely synthetic, and synthetic fibers, by definition, they take longer to dry, so this takes a long time to dry, so I have to be kind of, I have to remember to wash it straight after I use it in the morning, so the next morning I can actually use it. So it's a great brush. And honestly, if I had to choose, if you have a large collection of brushes, I would suggest getting this one, especially for foundation, whether you use liquid or mineral, because it really is extremely soft. So if you have to buff in a loose mineral foundation, this is really comfortable to use because it is extremely soft and very dense, so you get very good coverage. But if you're just building your brush collection, they give the same effect of foundation on the skin, so I'd probably choose this one if you haven't got a dual fiber brush, because this can also be used for blush, if you've got a pigmented blush and you just want a light layer of it. I guess you could use it for highlighting as well. It's great for stippling on powder, so you can use this for powder as well, but you'll get a very kind of opaque coverage with powder since this is so dense. And with this one you can get more of a sheer layer of powder. So this is more multifunctional, but if you've got a lot of brushes and you're just looking for a great foundation brush, I'd choose this one. It's great. Two other brushes that I really kind of enjoyed this month are by MAC. The first one is the MAC 222, and even Sigma hasn't come up with an SS 222 yet, from what I know. And this is essentially the same shape as the MAC 224 brush. It's just denser and it's more tapered. So if you have small eyes like me, I can't use this for my crease because the color gets everywhere, but I can use this for my crease. And I use it for my crease today, and it's kind of the perfect shape and the perfect size to fit into your crease. So it's a really handy dandy brush. I really like it. This one, however, I use for my under eye concealer. Works great for that. I have a tutorial on that. But what I've really been using this particular brush for most often in February and March is actually to dilute pigmented eyeshadow. So take this eyeshadow as an example. So this is the Sigma in Indian Girl. They sent out this eyeshadow with whatever brush you purchase from them. And this is a really beautiful color. It's kind of a taupe with silver shimmer. It's really, really pretty. And as you know, I've been on a kind of a taupe binge lately, so I was really pleased that they sent out this particular one. And it's a really nice color, but it's kind of quite pigmented just for daytime wear. So what I do is I actually apply it all over my lid, up to my crease, and maybe sometimes even slightly above it with this brush. So if I were to do this with a flat shader brush, I'd get a really intense layer of the pigment on my eye. But using this brush for the same purpose, you get a really nice wash of color. So this is a great brush if you just want to kind of diffuse the color of a pigmented eyeshadow and quickly use it as a wash of color all over your lid and up to your crease. And since it's a blending brush, it's also really easy to blend out any harsh lines with it. To be honest, when I use this to just apply a wash of color on my whole eyelid, I do get a little bit too much in the inner corner of my eye, but then I just take a Q-tip and remove it just with a Q-tip. So it's possible to do your whole eye makeup with just this one brush. And it's fast, and as a mother of a very small child, I highly appreciate that, I really do. And talking about the Sigma Indian Girl eyeshadow, I've been on a serious taupe binge lately. I'm really into taupe eyeshadow because as I said in my tutorial for my taupe smoky eye for the day, taupe is really nice because it's naturally a mixture of grey and brown, and a lot of times it's got a really pretty sheen to it, which makes the colour even more kind of complex. So it always looks, if you use taupe, that you spend more time than you actually did, and that's what I'm kind of aiming for. And there are a few taupes that I've really, really enjoyed this month that I can really recommend. The first one is actually from the Sassy Duo by L'Oreal Hip. And this is actually rare that you can get a duo from them, from the Hip line, which has two colors which are very nicely pigmented and blend out really well, because oftentimes one of the colors is really top notch and the other one is crappy, let's just be honest. And this duo is kind of an exception because both the colors are very wearable and they're very kind of pigmented, so it's a great buy. And this taupe is beautiful. It's very pigmented and it has this really nice purple undertone, so it's a great, great eyeshadow.